Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Nat Daddy Weekly Roundup. It is August 28th. Oh, sorry, it's not August 28th, it's July 28th. Let's not get through summer that fast. It is going by fast enough. Yeah, I can't believe it, July 28th. Early July 28th. Couldn't get this out till the 27th like I normally do, Thursday night for you guys, because there was a crazy amount of books this week. My biggest pile of books to review yet, over 30 books yet, and even then there could have been more, so we're going to jump right into stuff. Yeah, so let's get right into it. First off, I'd like to thank the people who helped make this show work. It's 204 Comics. Winnipeg is a great place for comics, and this is a great place to get your comics in Winnipeg. They support us as much as possible. That's where we get our books. That's where we shoot those videos for the previews and that. And this weekend, they're having a huge sale. So starting today, they're having a huge sale there. I know it's 40% off back issues. I think it's 10% off supplies. And I think it's like 25% off showcase books and that. So definitely come check it out. I'm heading there in a little while with Mustachio, actually. He's never been there, so I'm going to introduce Mustachio 204 and the guys there. And then also, speaking of Mustachio, we got Primo's Wrestling. And wow, we've had some crazy stuff going on with them lately. We had that wrestling show last week. Yeah, the Toxic Juggernauts won, man. My boys, the Toxic Juggernauts. Um, German Juggernaut, Moses Luke. You got Toxic Tyler James. They won the tag team championships from Primos there, so that's pretty awesome. No rest for the wicked, as they say, though, because we jump right into the next event that's coming up at Pyramid. We got Primos at the Pyramid August 6th. Long weekend. Come check it out Sunday night. New venue. We're trying out the Pyramid for the first time. If it all goes well, there'll be a little bit more of a permanent venue. Like I said, Toxic Juggernauts are going to be making their first in-town defense. They're coming against the Pillars of Destiny. Those guys are big, huge monsters. They're going to be making their Primo's in-town performance debut. And then we also have the Marty Skrull, the villain, coming in, former Bullet Club member. He's coming in to take on Mentalo, the zombie killer. And Mentalo is going to be defending the CWE championship there. It's not even a Primo's belt involved in that one. So lots of craziness, huge show. Do check it out. More stars be announced daily. It's going to be a good show. Do come see it. All right. Let's jump right into some books here. We are not going to do covers of the week in that because, again, there's just too many books. Way too many books to go through that decide which one is the best book in that. So we're just going to jump into our pile. Tons and tons of indies here. So I hope you guys like it. Let's get going. All right, first off this week, we got a special book here. We got Rebel Girls #1 from Keenspot. Our friend Danny Harrell does this book. He is the writer and the colorist on that. We were hyping up this book a lot. We were supposed to maybe take part in this book, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. But this is a great book so far. Lots of fun here. It is about a girl band that basically is these punk rockers, and they're approached by this kind of mysterious watcher type of dude that wants them to join his record label. Maybe he's evil, maybe he's not, and these girls kind of seem to have not associated with, but seem to be they seem to have supernatural stuff going on around them in that. And at the end of the issue, in that, it seems like some supernatural stuff happens around them at a show, and they're kind of blamed for it. Maybe they thought it was witches, or maybe there's ghosts involved. We don't know. Super fun book, though. It's called Rebel Girls. About some badass chicks in a rock band. Maybe dealing with zombie apocalypse, maybe just dealing with some supernatural Buffy stuff, who knows, but lots of fun. And again, from our friend Danny Harrell. So we're hopefully going to get him on the show and do an interview about that, because that is his first book that he put out where he was the writer, because he's usually a colorist. Next on our list, we got Under a Blood Red Moon. This is from After Dark Comics. Never even heard of them before. So again, there's so many on this list that are brand new to me as well. This is an awesome book here. Kind of has a neat premises. It is the old cliche of vampires versus werewolves. Always having that decades long, if not time long, war with each other, but this time you mix in that there's aliens have come and kind of taken over the earth, and they're the greater enemy, so now they're gonna hopefully team up to take on these aliens. And that good book so far. I liked it. Lots of great art. Most of these books this week had amazing art. That's why it was a tough week, because I love reading these books. Next, we have from Image, we have Pure Evil. Mirko Andolfo doing the writing and Laura Braga doing the art here. You can definitely, I thought for sure it was Mirko Andolfo doing the art in here as well, but it's actually her just doing the writing. And it's, but you can definitely tell that Laura Braga is definitely influenced by some of Mirko Andolfo's art here. So it's about these, some like this mother and daughter here. They're kind of, I don't know if they're monster hunters or whatever they do, but they do things on the side where it involves monsters and witchcraft and stuff like that. And they're also living in this tiny little apartment in the city. And it turns out maybe the backstory is that maybe one of them was like a rock star that kind of faked their death and that. So lots of different stuff going on here. Really good book so far. I quite enjoyed it, and the art is really good here as well too. So definitely check this out. Pure Evil. From Image Comics. We're going fast today, people, with these reviews, because there is so many books. But again, I think the review I give on these books is enough to hopefully pique your attention. From Scout Comics, we have Space Outlaw. A little bit of a thicker book here, so a little bit more costlier, $6.99, but again, a little bit more thicker. This is a kind of a space outlaw book. What's neat about it is the art is like what you see in the cover here. It all's kind of red and grays and blacks. It is about a alien dude that breaks out of this prison. I believe it's on Mars, but I could be wrong. That's a different book maybe. But this alien dude that breaks out of the space prison, hitches a ride on a comet, and he kind of crashes on Earth. And while he's on Earth, he ends up coming across this guy this farmer type dude who's about to end his life. And the meteor crashes, and this guy finds it, and the alien ends up taking over this guy. So he goes from a guy that has nothing to lose because he's lost all his farm, his wife and family, and this evil alien, now this convict alien is broken out, and also the jailers have sent down these ultra manhunting robots, droids, whatever you want to call them, to get this guy, and they're kind of like berserkers. They're kind of uncontrollable, so we'll see what happens there too. They kind of look like they're very heavy influenced by the Terminator, the T-100, the original Terminator. Next, from Scout Comics as well, we have Charm City. This is a fun book here. It's about this woman who is a music journalist. She writes blogs and reviews for local bands and stuff, and she ends up coming across into a murder investigation, and she ends up becoming almost like a part detective, part reporter for it as well too. And it seems to have something to do with these murders, or all seem to be connected by this this serial killer who is associated with the Baltimore Ravens of all things. So, Charm City. I liked it. And again, some great art in that as well. Another one from Scout Comics. Lots of Scout this time. We got Travoki, and it's the Slav with no remorse. The cover is great here too. Artwork inside is completely different. It's more cartoony and sloppy, and kind of like Rick and Morty like. And what it is Travoki is this former super criminal. He's this is he Slavic? I believe he is. I think he's Slavic in that, and he lives in Edmonton, Canada. So shouts out for Canadian stuff there. And he's trying to live a better life, but he's still a crappy, bad person. And he's actually part of a super villain support group in that. It's kind of funny. Lots of fun stuff there. Definitely not for the kids here. Definitely a mature reader. And what it is there is a priest there, a father that runs this group, and he's always kind of sticking up and looking out for these former supervillains, even though they treat him like crap. And their one success story who made it through the program, became a good person, actually comes back and kills this priest. And now these guys are, I guess, gonna go look for him. Neat book, fun, silly, very mature. From Source Point Press. This is a neat book. Kind of had a little bit of an idea going into it, but it still kind of blew my mind at the same time. So it's Murder by Mail. This book here is almost like a murder mystery that you would host like with your friends, or like a choose your own adventure too. So each page in here is gives you details and information on how to proceed in this case book here. You're a detective that they brought into this case, and this is the case book. So you have all these kind of mail and evidence and maps and stuff to go through. And when you get to certain pages, they represent certain things. Like the green pages is an action. So and then you would go to the right page that corresponds. Again, like a choose your own adventure. So lots of fun. I was a little confused at first. Not confused per se, but I tried to read it front to back and realizing that that's not the way to do. You have to want to read to do this book. So lots of fun here. Yeah, and they're gonna have more of these as well too. So if you're someone that likes those murder mysteries by mail or once a month catch a killer things, this would definitely be up your alley. So Murder by Mail, Source Point Press. Next, we have one called Steel Siege from BQ Comics, which is Battle Quest Comics. And this is the first of a few books this week that are have that kind of robo mecha giant suit type thing here. Great artwork in this one here. What this one here is about is there's these it's a planet where all these cities have kind of been they kind of travel around on these giant robot warrior backs, and they have to they're always at war with each other for the last little bit remaining resources left in the world. And that then a ship crashes on the planet there, and the planet or the person who crashes on the ship there is actually there to kind of hopefully broker some peace between everybody in that. But they just are trying to kill her in that. So this kind of desert wanderer, that kind of outcast from society, who also happens to be a great mech warrior herself, ends up saving this girl here, and he's going to help her try to get her message across too. For this peace treaty and that. So lots of great artwork in here. If you aren't one of those giant kind of Gundam mech suit persons, this is definitely a book for you. Great artwork. Steel Siege by BattleQuest Comics. I was very impressed with I'm always very impressed with indie books because you guys know that's my jam. That's the main reason I do this show. But all these indie books that have amazing artwork, all different artwork, and their quality of their books is just top notch too. Great covers, great artwork inside, paper quality wise. Another one that I've never heard of before is called Chaos Quill Comics, and this is Crestar and the Night Stallion. So this is from the guy that helped co-create the Boys. So this book here is again a little more mature in that. Again, some awesome artwork in here. Very realistic. Lots of great color in that. Lots of great action. This is about a guy who is his name is Crestar. He's this superhero in a town that looks like it's very heavily Pakistani and Muslim influences in that. And he's kind of like a vigilante there, kind of like a Batman. He's got a Batmobile that has this in a kind of sarcastically AI. It's kind of funny in that there too. And it also turns out that the story also has this other character in here. It's a guy, he's a Pakistani fella. His mom is always trying to set him up to get married. He kind of bucks the trends of the traditional cultures in that, and he's a gas station attendant. Not necessarily a loser per se, but not necessarily what is ideal for his parents' lifestyle and wishes. So he ends up being involved and hurt during one of these attacks and that. And I think he's going to end up becoming the Knight's dad. He's going to become a partner, I think, to this guy. So again, very tongue-in-cheek, much like The Boys and that, but violent and lots of adult action too. Not adult action, but mature action. A little bit of adult action, but let's not give the wrong impression here. All right, one more off the indie pile here. This one is huge as well too. So again, a little bit more pricier tag here. This one's $10. This is from Banda Bars. We've read a few of these books from them. This one is very thick, very great paper quality and cardstock. So it's called Jason and the Olympians, or Jason even, but it's most, I think it's Jason. This one is about a world where ancient Greek gods existed, but they still exist, and they've kind of meshed and merged with like everything's kind of been blended with the technology. So the Titans have returned and they're attacking Earth, or I guess it seems to be Earth, and they have these giant battle suits that kind of like what they used to fight these gods and that. So they have like cybernetic, giant cyclopses and chimera and everything like that to fight these creatures. And this one girl, Jason, she's like this prodigy, super smart, and that she helps build all these machines and solve all these issues and stuff. And she helps make these creatures, or not these creatures, these machines that are kind of mythological machines, and kind of form these giant battle robots and end up being like a super giant battle robot, kind of like Voltron or Power Rangers type of thing. So if you're like those battle suit stuff, and you're like teen Power Ranger type of things and that, mixed in with some ancient Greek lore and that, this is a cool book for you too. And awesome artwork as well here too. Great artwork, lots of nice color work in that. Fun. I liked it a lot. Kind of fun, silly. This one is I would not say necessarily for all ages, but it says here young adult. Next, we have a book from Advent? Yes, Advent Comics called Blakemore. We've reviewed a few of these Blakemore books before too. Again, nice thick cardstock. Again, awesome artwork on here. Same artwork on the cover as you see inside. Lots of great artwork there. Clean and crisp, and but even though it's clean and crisp, it's a dark story as well too. So we have this a town where some kids are going missing. It's almost like a monster under the bed type of thing. This one girl who actually gets stolen that way. She tells her mom there's a monster in her closet, and she gets stolen that way. And what it actually is I don't know if it actually is, but it seems like it's more like aliens. These aliens are kind of stealing people and that, kind of body harvesting and that. That's what we seem like so far. This one fellow who was in the, kind of captured in them with them in that too. He kind of breaks out and kills one of the aliens, and then gets, kind of sucked back inside. This woman here is, looking for, helping look for it, and this guy shows up as well too. This kind of blade-looking fella. It's kind of magical or something. They don't really say here. And he's going to help her, I guess, investigate these missing kids and that, because the police aren't really doing too much. So, okay book so far. Yeah, check it out. Again, missing kids, aliens, it looks like, and supernatural stuff, taking them. Not just kids, but they're focusing on kids in there. Oh, what else we got here? Let's kind of stick. From Alien Books, we've read a few of these books before. They usually tend to put out these trade paperback ones, so again, a little bit more expensive. You got Immortal Ascension. This one's kind of neat here. Rose, she's a god killer. She's a fierce warrior. She went from slave to warrior. Up in here, it's they train you to fight gods, and if you ever beat a god, you end up becoming a god. She did all that, and the only person ever to do it, tournament style, and that. after she became a god. She ended up killing all the other gods, and then kind of left that and went back to Earth just to hide. She's been living down there on Earth, kind of in the shadows type of thing, and now the gods are coming back because you can never really kill a god forever, and they're coming back in to try and get her as well too, wipe her out. So she's on Earth, kind of living like as this, teaching karate or that, and at the same time too, now she's having to deal with these gods and monsters and that coming up to get her. So again, some cool artwork in here. Some lots of action in that. A little bit of kind of like your god warrior mythos type of thing, mixed in with some I don't know if it's aliens or not, but I guess it's kind of aliens, but supernatural monsters and stuff. Fantasy type of thing, like Cthulhu and that. So great book so far. Lots of awesome color work in there as well too. Lots of dark and purples, and that gives you that kind of futuristic, dystopian city feel to it. Moral Ascension. From another one from Scout Comics, we have a book called The Wild Cosmos. This book was okay. Again, great artwork on it. Lots of very fine lines, detailed, space-oriented book, and that it's about a person who is this one wasn't one of the better ones of the week. It's one of the least ones. It's still pretty good. But it's about this. These people are trying to figure out why, and this ship has kind of been exploded. It's these travelers, and they need to do a certain thing there to save their lives. And that, again, it's just kind of a space adventure. Makes me think of like a lot of those 90s just space shows that were on TV. So again, nothing too special here. But The Wild Cosmos, again, it did have some pretty cool artwork in that, I must say. But again, it was again, didn't really stand out. And even thinking about now, flipping through it, nothing really stands out about it. But again, some nice artwork. The Wild Cosmos. Here's one that I did really enjoy. It's called From Boom Comics, and maybe some of you guys will recognize it. It's Alice Never After. So it's the sequel series to Alice Ever After. It's Alice. She's an adult now, and people would think she's crazy and think she has mental issues. They're always trying to put her in a hospital now, especially her family members, because she's always kind of in and out of this this stuporous catatonic state where she's actually visiting, or maybe we don't even know if she is or not, but it's in her head, or if it's real, she's actually visiting Neverland in the old Alice style. So what's going on here is she is visiting out back in Neverland, and her family knows that she wasn't crazy before, and the doctors that she was supposedly taking care of her before were not, and so they're kind of being a little bit more. They're trying to still help her out, looking for different doctors and that, but there's nothing really wrong with her. She's Alice from Alice in Wonderland. So this story takes place now that maybe the Queen of Hearts is dead, and they presented all the Tea Party members have presented her with the costume. Again, it's lots of great art in here. I've loved this series from the beginning, and Jenny Frison does covers for these as well too. So it's kind of like a sequel on Alice in Wonderland. Again, more mature, but it's quite fun. Like I said, at the end of the story here, she gets gifted and becomes the Queen of Hearts and that. So she has to deal with all that stuff going on, and with her regular life, like her normal life too, where she's just kind of always being taken care of by her family because they think she's crazy. So. All right. Issue 1 of Children of the Comet. Nice wraparound cover there. This one here is in black and white. It is about a team and they're the children of the comet, and they are all people who've been changed after a comet has gone by. Some of them have powers. They all have powers, but some of them, mutated in that. And they're going after to free another person who's the children of the comet as well, that's been captured and was being experimented and tormented on by all these people. A fun book. I enjoyed it. A little dark in some places, art-wise, so it's got me kind of hard to see some of the stuff out. But again, a lot of fun. You got a cult, like I said, that's trying to sacrifice this children, one of the children of the comet, to send to all its greatness and that because they're crazy. And these guys kind of break in, kind of like a Bureau of Paranormal Research Development, the guys that work with Hellboy, and kind of save this guy there and go from there. And that's lots of fun. Lots of great artwork as well too. Children of the Comet from Sumerian. Probably one of my favorite ones from this week, up there with Rebel Girls, is The Ribbon Queen from AWA. We have Garth Ennis doing this. It is a cop drama where this serial killer is going around grabbing people and killing them. The serial killer tends to use like a ribbon cutting device to skin all their people. But in the end, it turns out that maybe it's more than just a serial killer. Maybe there is some of the supernatural stuff in there. At least I thought that maybe. But great book so far. The Ribbon Queen. Being Garth Ennis, it's very mature. I liked it a lot. Some great artwork in here. I won't show you the ending piece, which is the Bloomer person, but it's just a great story about a person that is chasing down this serial killer. And it seems like the serial killer too is going after specific people, almost like revenge murders maybe. So now is that it for the indie books? Yeah, that's it for the indie books. Now we got a couple Marvel, and we'll jump onto the DC books. So from Marvel, we have issue 2 of Spider-Man India. This is the one of the characters from the Spider-Man multiverse type of thing, the Spider-Verse. It is Peter Patel. He's the Indian version of Spider-Man. So this is a world where everything is Indian, from India. Last time we saw that this is going on, they introduced the new Lizard character, and that's what's going on here. So again, a fun book if you have been enjoying all the Spider-Verse stuff here. This is the Spider-Man India character. And again, some nice artwork in here as well too. Like actually really nice artwork. I quite enjoyed it. It kind of has like great coloring in that too. Made me think of almost like homages to the updated homages to like the old Electric Company stuff. But good book, I liked it. Again, when you do read it, it's very, very familiar because, like I said, it is the whole Spider-Man and Dr. Connor's lizard stuff going on there. And not quite exactly the same, but mostly the same idea. But again, in that India Spider-Verse. A book that was supposed to come out last week, but got pushed back. It's part of these What If Dark series. We had that Loki one a couple of weeks ago, so this one is What If Dark Spider-Gwen. And what happens in here is when the Goblin had taken Gwen Stacy and threw her off the bridge, what if Peter Parker died instead of Gwen Stacy? And that's what this book is about. She ends up kind of going after the Goblin afterwards to get revenge and bring him to justice and that. So even though it's a lot of the main thing happens where Spider-Man's not around anymore, she becomes maybe Spider-Man. We don't know if she's got superpowers. I liked it. It's pretty good. I'm a sucker for what ifs. I always like what ifs. All right. We have here from Batman Beyond Neo Gothics. We have a new volume of Batman Beyond starting up. This takes place right after the end of the last series, where Batman Beyond has freed the city from the kind of like Big Brother type of institution that was running it. It was like that computer that was running everything like that. So he's freed them from that. But also at the same time, as well, as great as the city is for being free from all that, now it's kind of chaos in that because there is a vacuum because nobody is running stuff. So he's going around trying to put out as many fires as possible. He's getting overwhelmed because there is so much stuff going on. Kind of continues on there. He's going to be going down into like Neo Gotham, which is like the old Gotham, which is kind of built below everything. And they introduced a few new characters in here too. So if you're a Batman Beyond fan, definitely check it out. Great story. I liked it. And again, awesome artwork in here. So I'm a big Batman Beyond Terry McGinnis fan, so that's pretty cool right there. Check it out. You don't necessarily have to know what was going on before, but because it's just straight Batman Beyond, but it does help if you are wondering if it does continue off the old stuff. All right, so I got 3 books here. I got the Detective Comics Night Terror, and I got Harley Quinn Night Terror. This is the Detective Comics one. Again, some of these detective ones, or the Night Terror ones, are a little dark to see, but and also Angel Breaker one. There was a few others I read digitally. Again, I'm loving all this Night Terror stuff. The main story is pretty awesome. All the tie-ins in that are most of them are not essential to read in that. They're not like they don't have like evidence or intricate parts that tie into the story. Besides a couple of the main characters, like the main 3. But they are fun in the sense that this is just a great story. It boils down to it's basically a DC universe Freddy Krueger movie where that new powerful villain Insomnia has managed to make everybody fall asleep, and now he's traveling through everybody's nightmares to find the Nightmare Stone, which will let him come out of the dream world and kind of take over reality type of thing. So basically, every issue is people living through their worst nightmares, like Freddy Krueger style. So they're just fun to read. Some of them, a lot of them are kind of don't really necessarily have anything to canon going on. So you don't really necessarily have to know what's going on in the regular series, but some do, but not a lot. But again, a lot more enjoyable tie-in wise than most crossover stuff. So wow, I did that all pretty fast and actually faster than normal time. So some of those reviews were quick, but again, we get to get more books across that way. So hopefully I caught something that piqued your interest. Also, I forgot to mention in the beginning there that it's a good way to end the show is that hope to see you on Saturday night. On Saturday night, like I said, we do have an episode of Tags coming up. Things are getting sketchy. We haven't started the new season yet. That does start in September, but we're having a one shot on Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, so July 29th. It's the Kickstarter sketch cover night. So the people who bought the special levels of the Kickstarter packages will have their books done live on air that night. And we got Mike Ruth, Hugh Rookwood, Sean Hill, and Camila de Pationio doing art. And I'll be co-hosting with Stefan. And from later on in the year, once we do start up in September, me and Stefan will be taking turns hosting as far as I know. So hope to see you on Saturday night. If not, we'll see you on Monday again for the the dicey stuff that we do. Things are getting dicey. And if not, back here next week for more of the show. And who knows? Maybe whatever else we can fit in there. Peace out, everybody.